Hey, you guys. So I got a decent amount of interesting feedback on my post the other day, and it made me realize that I need to go back to basics, which is just taking it a step further than what I had planned with the videos I keep telling you guys that I'm going to be recording soon, and I really am going to be recording soon, but I got to juggle life. But so I actually legitimately want to start right now on this, like going back to the basics, because I'm really surprised at some of it. Like, I'm surprised because I can't believe that people think some of these things. And the reason why they think them is because there are people out there who are spreading this bad information about twin flames. I don't know if they are getting it from other sources that are wrong. So, which is what's going on in the truther community. Like, the truther community is ripe with misinformation, and it's because one person says something and then a zillion people run with it without properly checking it for accuracy. And so the truther community has like a shit ton of misinformation in it. That's why I get my Ascension information. If I don't get it directly from Spirit myself, which I mainly do that now, I only get it from trusted spiritual sources of what's going on in the world, because the truther community is so out of hand, and it just makes everybody look worse. But the same thing is going on with twin flames. So, like, one person says something and a million people run with it, maybe not a million, but a bunch of people run with it, and it's not correct information. And then you have a bunch of people believing just wrong information, like that everybody has a twin flame because everybody doesn't have a twin flame, but there's a lot of people who believe that. I mean, I had someone ask me, can your family members be your twin flames? And I had someone say that twin flames are not about the relationship. They're just a catalyst for you to do the inner healing on yourself, and that's it. The relationship doesn't matter. And other stuff that I can't think of right now off the top of my head, but I'm just like feeling the need to address some of these things. And I also got the age-old question, do you even know anybody in union? Because it's another thing that people get hung up on. So we're going to have a little talk real quick. Okay, let's start with, does everybody have a twin flame? No, everybody does not have a twin flame. I don't know why some people believe that. And even some spiritual teachers with large followings, I've seen saying that now. One of the very first things that I learned when I started learning about twin flames was how rare they are. And unions have been more rare up until this point, because unions are meant to occur during the times of ascension. There have been twin flame unions before the times of ascension, but not very many. They were especially rare. But twin flames themselves have always been considered very rare. They weren't even well known. Like, go back 1 to 2 decades and nobody even heard that term before. It is a new term that has been used for the last decade or so, because now is the time for twin flames for their journeys to be activated and to go through their journey of healing, self-healing, and metamorphosis, and then come into union for the purpose of ascension. But that is for the last, like I said, 1 to 2 decades. So twin flames weren't even a thing before. So how would humanity go about the last, thousands of years if everybody has a twin flame and nobody's even heard of that before until 2000 something? I don't know where that came from, but I have spoken to Spirit about this myself. If you're new to my channel, I have direct conversations with Spirit. I don't just, yes, I do card readings and I do twin flame readings with cards, but I also have direct communication with spirit, not just in meditation, actually even more so with a pendulum. I ask questions, spirit spells the answers out to me in sentences, we converse, and I connect directly with Jesus. I connect directly with Jesus because I have defeated so much spiritual warfare that I only go straight to him now in order to protect my communications and ensure that I am getting the most accurate answers from the highest light for our highest best without any interference from demonic entities or anything. And everything that I tell you guys is straight from Jesus, okay? So, who is a twin flame as well, if you did not know that. So that being said, I honestly, I don't care what what popular spiritual teachers are saying with large numbers of following. I only care about what I am told directly from spirit, or if I learn it from a source that I trust, that has already earned my respect as a spiritual teacher. And honestly, even that being said, sometimes it still doesn't resonate with me. But my main point is that I go straight to the top when the top is Jesus, Ascended Master Jesus, and if whatever he tells me is what I believe to be true, because I'm that confident in my connection with him, my communications with him, and in what he relays to me. So I verified this. Even though I already knew this, hearing this for the umpteenth time, I'm like, let me just see what he says. Let me see what he says. And he confirmed not everybody has a twin flame. There were, and I'm going to do a whole different series of videos and get into all of this history, but there were originally 144,000 twin flames in Atlantis in union. The majority of spiritual teachers right now believe that there's 144,000 twin flames, period. I can tell you from what I've recently channeled, the original 144,000 twin flames have replicated in order to bring more twin flames on Earth, in order to help with Ascension, in order to reclaim Earth from the dark, and help, well, I already said that, and restore it to the light, basically restore it to its former glory before the dark took over the planet. So those numbers have replicated, and now there are 3 groups of 144,000 twin flames, or twin rays, one or the other. Twin rays and twin flames are almost exactly the same. Both can be considered twin flames, but twin rays have a slightly different path than the primary group twin flames. I've talked about this before on my page. I will talk about it more and explain more in my upcoming videos. But there are 3 groups of twin flames or twin rays of 144,000, and there is another group of 96,000 monadic souls that are similar to twin flames, but they are not twin flames, but they're the same vibration. Monadic souls are a whole nother topic that is complex to understand and explain. I will be talking about those coming up soon and explaining what monadic souls are in detail. I'm sure many of you have heard of monadic twin flames from other twin flame teachers. Jesus wants me to set the record straight on them. Monadic twin flames is not the correct term. It should be monadic souls, and that is because they are not actually twin flames. They do not have a soul split. They are being confused with twin flames because they have the same high vibration and frequency as twin flames, but they have a slightly different path, and they never had a soul split. They went through Ascension, but they didn't have a soul split. That's all I'm going to say about those right now. It's too much to get into. I'm trying to keep this concise. But those are the 4 groups. There are 4 groups. Those are the different types of twin flames. That's how many twin flames there are. There are 3 groups of 144,000 twin flames and twin rays, and there's 96,000 monadic souls of the same vibration as twin flames, and that's it. Everybody else does not have a twin flame. Now, let me explain to you why that is. So this is how it works. This is how Earth works and how life works. Earth is a 3D planet. Earth is not the only 3D planet, but Earth has not always been a 3D planet. Earth used to be a 7th dimensional planet, and at the time of the fall of Atlantis, dark forces took over Earth and caused the descension of Earth, so Earth descended from a 7th dimensional planet to a 3rd dimensional planet. And there have been other 3D planets for God knows how long. Probably to infinity. So 3D planets have a purpose of being the soul school for souls. So when souls are created, they go to a 3D planet in order to go through their soul growth process, and to go through their awakening process, and to experience it as well. I mean, part of it is the soul growth, and part of it is because souls just want to experience what it's like being in the 3rd dimension or the 3rd density, because 3rd density beings such as us experience emotions and certain types of pleasure and sensations that souls don't experience at higher densities or dimensions. So that's another reason why they come here, to experience that. So being a 3D planet, Earth is an Earth school for souls. One of the things that I learned that brought me down this rabbit hole of learning all of this was that there's a line, there's like a wait list or a line of souls to come to Earth. They want to come here to go through this Earth school process, and probably to help the planet in other ways as well, I believe. But anyway, so when souls come to Earth or other 3D planets, but I'm focusing on Earth, okay? They have to go through a soul ascension cycle. And that soul ascension cycle is like going through K through 12. I'm in the US, so that's the school system here. So it's like going through K through 12 schooling. And it's like you go in at preschool or kindergarten, and you cannot finish school and be done with school until you graduate high school, and or university, depending on what your goals are. And that's what it's like when a soul comes to a 3D planet. That's what they have to go through. They have to go through all of their grade levels and all of their lessons before they graduate, and their graduation is Ascension. So and you can also think of this as the soul growth process during the soul ascension cycle is actually what evolution is, at least to some degree. I have not gotten into in-depth conversations with Jesus about this yet. It's on my list, but I channeled recently that what is taught about evolution in terms of how beings change, that's actually what souls go through over the course of their soul ascension cycle. Deciding which direction to go here. So when souls first incarnate, they don't start off as humans right away. They start off as bacteria and the smallest life forms first, and they spend lifetimes as all of those things, as a part of the elements, water, earth, air, as plants, as animals, as elementals. The souls work their way up through every single type of life form on the planet. And even like as animals and as humans, there's like the baby souls and the older souls that are more experienced. So like there's the younger they are, or in that process of that species, the more they have to learn. So souls will spend many lifetimes as, the different types of species, because they have to learn all the different lessons at the different stages. Like, honestly, there's probably K through 12 for each type of species as well. I'm not going to try to conjecture about that in terms of the lower life forms, but like just as an animal, as a dog, there's probably like K through 12 of that, of like learning the basics. Maybe not that many. And I don't believe that every soul experiences every type of animal. I have not asked him about this yet, but it came to me recently. I believe that our spirit animals are the animals that our soul was before we were human, or at least partially. Maybe not completely. Like I said, I haven't even talked to him about this yet. I haven't even confirmed it. It's theory for me. To me, I consider it theory until I confirm with Jesus. But that's what came to me. But anyway, so we go through all the different life forms and go through many different lessons. And in our baby or our lower grade level human years, we spend time being bad because we experience being dark or being evil or doing bad things as well, which generates bad karma that also has to be cleared. And we just go through various stages. In fact, I would not be surprised, although again, I have not confirmed this, but I would not be surprised if twin flames have in their early days before being twin flames spent time as being karmic partners, and that it's just part of the grade levels and it's part of the soul ascension growth process. So this is what you go through as a soul. Okay. For Earth, I don't know about other planets. For Earth has a 26,000 year ascension cycle. Our souls have 12,000 year ascension cycles. And the way that it fits in with the planet is that the first 1,000 years of the planet is the ascension or descension process. Then the next 24,000 years is 2 soul ascension cycles. And then the last 1,000 years of the planet's ascension cycle is the 1,000 years that is leading into the next phase, whether that's a descension or an ascension. And that's what Earth, at least that's what this past ascension cycle has been for Earth. 1,000 years of descension starting in Atlantis, going down from 7th dimension to 3D, 2 soul ascension cycles, and now we are starting the last 1,000 year ascension process to 9. I got cut off at the end there. So now we are starting for the last 1,000 years of the 26,000 year ascension cycle, going from 3D, to 9D, to 9th dimension. And that comprises the 26,000 year ascension cycle. 1,000 years at the beginning and the end that account for descension and ascension, and then 2 12,000 year soul ascension cycles in the middle. So it's 1,000, 12,000, 12,000, 1,000, and it adds up to 26,000. So our souls have 2 soul ascension cycles in there. If you're incarnated for both of them, that is. So the first group of twin flames, the original 144,000 twin flames, had already gone through. Actually, wait. Let me backtrack. A single soul incarnates, comes to Earth, and goes through a soul ascension cycle. And you're a soul, like you're by yourself. You're not a twin flame yet, okay? You're just a single soul. Goes through a 12,000 year soul ascension cycle. And at the end, you've graduated, you've ascended, and that's when your soul splits and becomes a twin flame. A soul has to go through an entire soul ascension cycle before splitting and becoming a twin flame. Then the twin flames, honestly, I don't know exactly how this part works. Like, I don't know if they get to choose, I think they get to choose. So I can't tell you for 100% certainty what happens next, but I believe that they get to choose on if they're going to spend some time together just in union, like enjoying life, on a higher dimensional planet somewhere, or if they're going to go straight to incarnating on a 3D planet all over again. Like I said, I don't know for sure. I believe that they get to choose. But as far as here and now, the original 144,000 twin flames were basically enjoying union together on a higher dimensional planet, because that's what Earth was when they were in Atlantis. But that's when the fall of Atlantis happened, and that caused them to go into separation. So that first group is the first group of twin flames that started reincarnating on Earth. Okay, so I'm going to stop there in terms of explaining about the twin flame groups, because that is another topic that I'm going to be getting to soon, and then over the course of the next week or two, and explaining more about the history of the twin flames, the first group of twin flames, the two soul ascension cycles that they go through, the twin rays, the soul ascension cycle that they're going through, and the monadic souls. I'm going to get to all of that, but that is no longer relevant to the purpose of these videos. Right now, my focus is on, does everybody have a twin flame or not? So I have explained how the soul ascension cycles work, what you go through before becoming a twin flame, and then what happens at that point in time. And like I said, once you become a twin flame, after going through an entire 12,000 year soul ascension cycle, then you choose, I believe you choose, are you going to immediately return to a 3D planet, or are you going to spend some time in union and a galactic world for a little while first? So the reason why twin flames incarnate again on a 3D planet is because the ultimate goal of souls is to continue their soul growth process until they become ascended masters. So they continue to go through cycles of various stages of soul growth. They return to a 3D planet to help that planet ascend as well, and to help teach humanity, and to be examples of unconditional love on the planet. But they also get to enjoy life in other worlds and experience life in other worlds as well. Now, other worlds, other planets that are higher dimensions, they have different rules and different structures and systems. So yeah, so they're experiencing something different when they go there. But like, all of this is ultimately leading to those souls becoming ascended masters. Okay, so that is the soul journey, at least what I know about it. I'm sure that there's more that I don't know, but that's what I can explain to you right now. And that is why not everybody has a twin flame, because not everybody has completed a soul ascension cycle yet. The twin flames who are here have already completed at least one soul ascension cycle, and they have chosen to return to Earth in order to assist with Earth's ascension process that is happening right now. And the reason why everybody knows about twin flames now is because ascension started in the last decade. And the reason why people didn't know about twin flames before, decades ago, was because ascension wasn't starting yet. But that is why now everybody knows about twin flames, but not everybody is one. So hopefully now that helps explain to you guys, like, not just saying not everybody has a twin flame, but understanding why not everybody has a twin flame. Hopefully that helps explain that to you guys. And I will say, and I confirmed this, like I said at the very beginning, I talked to Jesus about this to confirm everything before I even was going to record this for you guys. So like I said, not everybody has one. And he also confirmed that everybody will eventually become a twin flame and will eventually have one, but it doesn't happen all at once for everyone at the same time. So not everybody has one. Eventually everybody will have one, but the world will never exist in a state where everyone that lives in the world has a twin flame, because there will always be new souls, and there will always be new souls incarnating and coming here or to any other 3D world. So everyone will eventually become a twin flame, but the world will never exist where everyone that is alive has a twin flame. Okay? So hopefully that's all clear now. I'm going to continue because I have 3 more topics I want to discuss. Now, the next one I'm going to go into was the comments that were made to me about the journey is not about union, it's not about the relationship, it's just about the self-healing. And this person also kind of alluded to that your twin flame is only meant to be a catalyst for that healing, and they kind of made it sound like they can be just a karmic partner type of scenario. Now, I already had the other video where I addressed that twin flames are not karmic partners. Toxic karmic partners are not twin flames. It's two completely different things. But mainly what I want to focus on is this idea that a lot of people have, that it's not that the twin flame journey is not about union, is not about the relationship, that you can be family with the twin flame, or that you can be platonic with a twin flame, and that it's only about self-healing. Those are, to be honest, what I believe is that those are things people tell themselves to make themselves feel better because of what their twin flame journeys are like, or what they are experiencing in the moment. Now, they are correctly channeling some aspects of those beliefs, but they are also ignoring or rejecting information because it's triggering to them because of what their journeys are like. And unfortunately, some of that stuff is just simply not true. And now I'm going to explain to you why in the next video. So, it is true that the twin flame journey itself is the primary focus is on your self-healing, your transfiguration process of awakening and reconnecting with your divine self, reconnecting with your higher self. And that's a whole nother thing that I'm going to be discussing more. I talked about it recently, but as a quick reminder, what I channeled just within the last month was that at the fall of Atlantis, at the descension of Earth, when twin flames were separated from each other, but what also happens to them and to all of humanity, because Earth descended from the 7th dimension to the 3rd dimension, our bodies, at the time in the 7th dimension, were crystalline. Our bodies could not live on Earth as in crystalline form. So with the descension of Earth, the fall of Atlantis, the separation from our twin flames was also the separation of ourselves. Like our higher selves were ripped from our bodies, and our bodies transformed to carbon-based instead of crystalline-based. And we're no longer one with our higher selves. We became separated from our higher selves. And connecting to our higher selves through our consciousness was no longer automatic. It was something that needed to be learned and practiced. And it's a whole nother subject to go down on why people have been disconnected from their higher selves so much. But this is what happens. And it was all part of the dark taking over the planet and being able to control humanity here. So now, going through Ascension, going through the twin flame journey, what we are going through is the self-healing, is the awakening, and all of that is the transfiguration, massive metamorphosis, and spiritual rebirth of rediscovering our true selves from a soul level, reintegrating with our higher selves, connecting with them again, learning how to be constantly connected and in tune with our higher selves, and literally the re-merging and reunification of our 3D forms with our higher selves and our 5D consciousness. And that is coming into inner union first, which is the first step of the twin flame journey. So like I just said in the previous video, if you're on TikTok, the first step of the twin flame journey is this massive rebirth process that we are going through that is healing all of the deep layers of 3D wounds, 3D conditioning, past life wounds, soul retrievals needed to reclaim soul aspects and fragments of ourselves that have been lost over the course of these soul ascension cycles and soul growth journeys. This massive process of healing all of that, reunifying ourselves, and reintegrating, reunifying, remerging our 3D consciousness and forms with our 5D souls, higher selves, and a higher awareness. And at the same time, because we are going through ascension, our bodies are becoming crystalline again. So our souls are literally like rejoining our bodies, and our bodies are becoming crystalline again. The twin flame journey is that process for us as individuals. And the reason why twin flames are the front runners or forerunners or whatever the right word is for ascension is because we are doing that at an accelerated rate. That's what the journey puts us through that process at an accelerated rate. And in doing so, we are not just assisting ascension, we are creating ascension. We are creating the new earth ourselves as we go through this process at an accelerated rate. The connection with our twin flame and the relationship is the reward for getting through that process, because nobody would choose to go through that process, especially being in the 3D in the first place. Nobody would choose to go through that process because it's so difficult and painful. So the connection with our twin flame and the relationship is like the carrot that's being dangled in front of us, the reward that is the motivation for us to get through that process. And it's a backwards type of motivation because we don't even consciously choose to start out on this. Like, we don't have a choice because our souls are just going through this process and our souls made these choices. So we're just, we're on for the ride, whether we like it or not. And we're not choosing to go through this journey of self-healing, but it starts whether we like it or not, and our connection with our twin is what gets us to persevere through it begrudgingly. I think that everyone tries to give up on the twin flame journey because it's so hard and it feels like you're never going to come into union with your twin. You feel like you're crazy, that you're questioning if this is even real. And there are many spiritual teachers. That's why when I said in the beginning that how I don't care what spiritual teachers teach and believe, because there are many very well-known and even famous spiritual teachers with tons of followers who don't believe in twin flames. And they don't believe in twin flames because they either are not twin flames or they are twin rays who don't realize it or aren't coming into union with their twin flame, so they don't believe in it in the right way because it's not what they are experiencing. But the primary thing there is that they're not the primary group of twin flames that are coming into union in this lifetime and creating new earth and creating the ascension process. So they simply just don't believe it because it's, like I said, the main point of what I said is that's not what they're experiencing in their reality. And anybody who is not a twin flame cannot understand what it feels like to be a twin flame. So that's why I said that as well at the beginning. But anyway, so I think everybody would choose to give up if they could because it's that painful and it's that difficult of a journey and a process. Like when I say rebirth, I mean, I'm serious. And I've used this analogy before, like we are going through a spiritual birth canal, and all you women who have had babies know that it's painful and that's what we're going through. So yeah, it's really hard. That is the journey, and that is the first step of a twin flame journey, connection, however you want to think of it. That is the primary purpose in the beginning or in the first half. I can't think of the right wording how I want to say this, but we're just going to go with those. And the connection to your twin, the relationship, and the intensity of it, and the true unconditional love that is unfaltering no matter what, is what gets you through the journey. Now, the second aspect of the twin flame connection and the twin flame journey is the union and is the relationship, and is just as important. It simply can't happen until you complete the first part. But you're not meant to only have the first part. Both parts are important. The rebirth process and the union are both important, and I'll explain why in a second. The first part of the twin flame journey, the rebirth process, the self-healing process, the inner union, that is important for you as an individual to go through your personal ascension and to go through your personal transformation and just healing overall. The second part, the union, that is important for the planet, because the purpose of being a twin flame is, well, actually there's multiple. Okay, so part of the purpose of being a twin flame is your own soul growth process on your way to becoming an ascended master. But twin flames choose to be of service to humanity, to assist with, not just to assist with the ascension process, to create the ascension process, to create New Earth. So that is why the union stage is necessary and important. The union for the individual twin flames, I mean, I guess you could say it doesn't really matter as long as you're going through what you need to as an individual. But when it comes to ascension and when it comes to the planet and humanity, union is integral and important, because that is raising the vibration of the planet. Yes, your own personal vibration is rising as you go through that rebirth process of the twin flame journey. But when you come into union with your twin, it is magnified like significantly. I don't know exactly how much, so I can't tell you exactly how much, but it is magnified potentially even exponentially. Like the vibration of twin flames coming into union is significantly higher than you on your own getting through your side of the twin flame journey process and working on your mission. So the unions are important. The unions are events in and of themselves. Spirit divinely times twin flame unions because, or partially because, the unions themselves are creating little mini energy portals that are assisting with the ascension of the planet, and that are also blocking attempts by the dark to stop ascension. So there was an influx of unions last year around the time that CERN was turned on, and that was to block the effects of CERN on the planet. So union itself is important, is not just important, is integral as well. You can't have one without the other. I mean, you can, but you can't. So the reason why people believe that you can just go through the twin flame journey without coming into union, and the reason why people believe that you can be platonic with your twin flame, or that your twin flame can be family, is because those people are either, okay, so those people are in a stage of their journey where they're not with their twin. They probably don't believe they're going to be able to be with their twin. And a lot of times it does feel impossible. And they have lost hope of coming into union with their twin. Or, well, there's multiple reasons that I can get into with this. When it comes to those who believe that they can be platonic with their twin, and they legitimately are, they are either twin rays who are not coming into union in this lifetime. at least in terms of the romantic relationship. Or they are monadic souls. Monadic souls can be platonic because they're not actually twin flames. And monadic souls, do not have that same intense energy connection pulling them together like twin flames do. They believe that they're twin flames because that's what they've been taught to believe because of this misinformation, but it's not the same thing. So monadic souls can be platonic and monadic souls can be family. Twin flames can't be family. Twin flames would have a hard time keeping it platonic because of the intensity of the connection. However, twin rays are a little bit different from twin flames, and twin rays are not guaranteed for a union in this lifetime because the purpose of twin rays is more so for continuing down the 1,000-year ascension process and helping with the middle and the end stages of ascension, whereas twin flames are assisting with the beginning of ascension now. So for twin rays, they may be able to be platonic or just focus on the inner journey, the self-healing journey, and the inner union, and they may be able to not feel as much of a need for a union, or be able to, or they just have taught themselves to believe that it's not as important because they're not necessarily going to achieve it. And so, like I said, they believe that because it's based on what they are experiencing and what they are going through as a twin ray instead of a twin flame. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for you guys. I forgot to say as well that another reason why the unions are important, besides, the way they elevate the vibration and frequency of the planet, it's also because twin flames are meant to teach humanity this new paradigm for relationships based on unconditional love and based on your going through this spiritual awakening and metamorphosis. So twin flames are literally ushering in ascension, are raising the vibration and the frequency of the planet by coming into union, and they are living examples of unconditional love for the rest of humanity who are not twin flames. So that's the other reason why, that I forgot to say before, the other reason why the unions are important too. Now, and like I said, the reason why some people believe that the unions aren't important or aren't necessary is because they are twin rays or monadic souls, and what they are experiencing is just not the same. Or they're twin flames who just haven't reached, they're not close enough to the reunion stage yet, and they are struggling with faith, and they are at a stage where they just simply believe that it's not possible to come into union, so they've convinced themselves that union isn't necessary because it's like a defense mechanism, and it's like a protective thing, like because their psyche can't handle it, basically. And honestly, like, many people go through stages like that in their healing. So that is why a lot of people believe that. The question of, do you know anyone in union? Yes, I do know people in union. I mean, now, of course, I'm speaking for myself and not speaking for other people. But yes, I do know people who are in union, both personally and like teachers or leaders or whatever. I have heard of people previously, like before twin flames became more well known, and I know of people now. I have some clients who have come into union since I last worked with them. I don't talk to them anymore because they don't need me anymore. And I have friends as well. But that being said, I don't know a ton, and that makes sense. Like, one of the things that drives me crazy when someone brings that up is, do you even know anyone in union? Well, we're at the beginning of the ascension process. The first wave twins are only just, have come into union, and there are 6 more waves of twins that still have to get there. It takes time. The twin flame journey takes time on its own anyway. And then add to it that it's not like twin flames in general, and twin flame unions were rare until the last decade or so. And the first wave only if you look at my chart with the dates for union for each wave, the first wave wasn't predicted, or what I was told by Jesus, to come into union until the end of last year. And it got drawn out a little bit until this just last month, the March equinox. So, and then that's only the first wave, and there's still 6 more waves. So yeah, there's a reason why you don't know a ton of twin flames in union yet, because there's still a lot to go. I have to double check the percentages that Jesus has told me. I'll have to update that soon. I want to say that it's supposed to be around 35-40% of twin flames in union. But just keep in mind that there's not a ton of twin flames as it is compared to the world populations. And, the twin flames versus twin rays and monadic souls is even less. So you're not necessarily going to know a ton of people in union. That doesn't mean that it will never happen. All that means is that you're not in union yet, and they're not in union yet. It doesn't mean it will never happen. So don't be like all Debbie Downer or hopeless. Like, if you're feeling like that, it's simply a sign that you still have a lot of healing to go through, okay? And blind faith and patience are probably the 2 biggest tests and lessons about the twin flame journey. And trust me, Spirit will push you through them until you're completely surrendered to them and they're not driving you crazy anymore. So if you are struggling with that and questioning if it will ever even happen, you still have healing to get through, okay? I should have said for myself as well, I'm in the reunion phase. I won't be telling when I'm in union anyway. So I might be, I might not be, but you won't know, because Spirit has instructed me I have to protect my union because of people who are jealous and envious. But we're close enough to union that it's almost irrelevant, the difference. And I'm going to run out of time. Hold on. The reason why my twin and I have had union, the path to union prolonged, has been more so connected ever since we started the reunion phase. We started the reunion phase in 2020. And the reason why the actual union has been prolonged has been more to do with external factors than internal. There has still been healing and growth that we have both gone through, even up until recently, but we have been in basically a long distance relationship and on the same page, like he not running. No one has been running from the connection since at least 2020. And like I said, it's been external factors. And honestly, I expect most of you to go through a very similar process to that as well. Now, the exact circumstances vary. And like I said, for us, the external circumstances do play a significant role primarily because of the children involved. So in any case, my point is simply that, going back to that question of, do you know anyone in union? Like, I would honestly practically include myself in that, even though it's not, 100% union. But as far as the reunion stage goes for us, like, our relationship is solid. So anyway, so that's that question of, do you even know anyone in union? Yes. I know spiritual teachers, I know friends, I know clients in union. So the last topic that I wanted to talk about right now, it connected to all of this, is something else that I have seen people say. It's been said to me, and I've seen other people say something similar to this. Is basically like, why doesn't he just do this? Take whatever steps, do whatever needs to be done to be in union. Now, this is obviously, I'm starting to go into a little bit off topic from where I started here, but it was on my mind, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about this now too, okay? So, that whole like feeling and thought process is coming from a place of wounding. It's coming from the 3D. It's not coming from unconditional love, and it's not coming from understanding or forgiveness. It's coming from judgment and expectations. And it's expecting your twin to do everything on your timetable, and you're trying to control everything. And that is the problem with that line of thinking. You need to understand that, as I have explained, your twin is going through this massive spiritual rebirth. They're going through a huge metamorphosis, transfiguration process that is taking them through the deepest, darkest shadow work that they will ever experience. They're going through a darkening of the soul. They're not even choosing to go through this process. The divine feminines, at least, are choosing to work on themselves, choosing to work on their healing and their awakening. The divine masculines, more often than not, aren't even choosing to go through this process. They're just being forced through it by spirit and by their higher selves. And so they're going through this massive healing process by no choice of their own. And it requires whatever spirit deems it to require. They are not going to rush through the process to accommodate your expectations or need to demand it to be on your timing. So why don't they just do this whatever? Why don't they just take these action steps that are clear to you, but you don't understand why they're not doing it? Because they're not ready yet. Because they still have healing to work through. Because they have to reclaim their sovereignty over a karmic partner, and they have to be strong enough and have healed their whatever self-worth wounds in order to do it. Why don't they come running to you? Because they have to heal their sacral chakra wounds, their self-worth wounds, their heart chakra wounds, whatever it is that still has them feeling like they don't deserve to be with you. They don't deserve unconditional love. The reason why they haven't done whatever it is yet is because they're not ready yet. They're still working through some type of growth process. They don't need to be 100% ready in order to come to you and come into union. The threshold is 80%. This is what Jesus told me. But if they're not with you yet, they haven't done that yet, it's because there's something that they're still working through. And it is not your job to judge them for it. It is your job to understand, to be able to see the bigger picture, to understand what they're going through and why, and to hold space for them lovingly and unconditionally while they work through that process. It is an internal growth process for them, and it is an internal growth process for you too, and being able to do that is part of your growth process. And if you can't do that yet, then you're not ready yet either. You need to recognize that this is not just any relationship. This is not a soulmate. This is not a karmic partner. This is not just a random third-party relationship. This is your twin flame. This is a massive spiritual awakening journey. And spirit is in control of it. Your higher selves and your spirit team are the ones in control of it. You are not in control of it. Your divine masculine is not in control of it, or your twin is not in control of it. Spirit is in control of it. And spirit is not orchestrating just any old relationship here. Spirit is bringing you both through the most important soul journey you will ever go through in your existence. And it doesn't matter. The timing ultimately doesn't matter. And you have to see the bigger picture. And you have to understand what it is your twin needs to work through. You have to be able to step back and see what it is that you are going through and what you are still healing. You have to be open-minded, you have to be understanding, and you have to just allow everything to happen exactly how it needs to happen, which Spirit will orchestrate in the best way for everybody involved. It will happen for your highest best, for your twins' highest best, and even for the highest best of the people around you guys, too. If you come together before you're ready, before all of that healing has finished, then you're not really in union yet, and you're not going to experience that amazing, harmonious relationship that is what union will be when you both healed and ready for it. So understand that Spirit is orchestrating this exactly how it needs to be for both of you to be the best versions of yourselves and to have that amazing union relationship and to receive those rewards for all of your hard work of getting through the journey. And to finish this off, I'm going to give you the definition of union that I asked Jesus to define for me just the other day, which I did not know I was going to be saying this now, but this is what he told me. Divine union is the total expression of bliss, making a choice to fulfill your destiny, recognizing divine timing is both saying trust and believing it. Expect union to be completely fulfilling. Union encompasses everything you feel sexually, making love in its purest form, following your soul path, executing total exclamation of personal motivation for your divine existence. Union is total and absolute because union is completion. Let me read that to you one more time. This is the definition of union defined by Jesus. It's given to me directly. This is an exact quote spelled out for me. Divine union is the total expression of bliss, making a choice to fulfill your destiny. Recognizing divine timing is both saying trust and believing it. Expect union to be completely fulfilling. Union encompasses everything you feel sexually, making love in its purest form, following your soul path, executing total exclamation of personal motivation for your divine existence. Union is total and absolute because union is completion. And he also gave me permission to include a quote from an oracle, but from Mother Mary. Love seeks to manifest through you as you. It is not only your spirit that is to be blessed by love, but your body and your life too. You are meant to live a reality of divine love. You are meant to experience the presence of the divine in everyday life. Your spiritual life and material existence are not destined to be separate, but rather are to be united, enhancing each other, infusing each other with love in sacred relationship. Those are the definitions of union, and that is why the union is just as important as the soul journey self-healing process that is the first part of the twin flame journey, but it is not the only part. Both are important, and union is more than what you can imagine it to be. And that is why it can't be rushed, and that is why you have to have complete faith and trust. You have to hold space for your twin, and you have to allow everything to unfold exactly how it needs to be so that both of you can be fully ready, because you can't experience that level of bliss and divine love until you're both ready. It doesn't mean that it will never happen. It just won't happen on your timetable. You have to surrender to it, you have to trust it, and you have to just let it be how it needs to be. So, I talked about a lot today. I hope that it answered a bunch of questions. I hope that it gave you a lot of the background information in understanding why those are the answers. And please share this information to help get rid of the disinformation and the misinformation that is rampant in the twin flame community now. So let me know if you have any questions. Hope you guys have a great day.